Good early evening. This is William Surf Riles of We Ride Biker for Life by Ride. And this video is for the intended purpose for education. And during the time that I'm on this platform, as I said I was going to do on my TikTok page, which I will make a personal video for the TikTok page only due to the fact that TikTok has been very, very quote unquote prejudiced with me and some of the views that I have spoken on. I'm speaking specifically on biker information and my suggestion that it will improve this community. I wanted to keep this in mind that I'm going to be switching over into other platforms while I'm speaking. And I hoped that people will actually learn from this video. So before I go any further, I am a 22-year supporter of this society. I have been involved in the biker community since 2003. When I first came into the set, I came into the set as a member of the Four Horsemen Motorcycle Club by way of my cousin Pharaoh, my uncle Speck. Shout out to all my blood ones in the Four Horsemen family, and peace to all of the Four Horsemen Nation. I became a part of who I consider to be the greatest motorcycle club on the planet, Immortal Souls. Shout out to my extended family, Immortal Souls. MC, hey yo, all right. Also want to give a shout out to the man that also is responsible for that phrase, Mr. Waynesworth Hall, aka Unique Mecca out of Harlem. I actually have conversated with the person that was responsible for that phrase. So to get back into what I was saying, if you all are not familiar, I'm sure some of us on the biker community through certain pages have already seen the video. The video is a video of a incident that took place in a bar in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And the club that was there, I will not mention their names, but they had a movie recently on the origin of that club. And they're based out of Illinois. And they got into it with a civilian who happens to be of this hue. It was 5 of them and only one of the person of this hue, along with the female that was there with him. It looks as if he was some type of construction worker or he worked for the city because he had on a neon green and orange stripe shirt on. So obviously he was working or just got off work. Noticing that when you see the video, you notice that in the background, you can tell it's a bar, but it had the words Trump on there. Not to have anything against Trump. I ain't got nothing against him. But within 3 minutes of that video, a huge fight broke out where they pinned that man down. And not only did they beat on him, but they stumped him and they threw it, they flew a chair at him. And that club is very well known. So, as I began to read some of the comments that was put onto the page, you already know where this could lead to. Now, this only been less than 48 hours. As this was happening, I was in a hotel with that same club. And now I understand the reason why they was looking at me funny. And they was looking at me funny. And there was at least 5 of them at that hotel. So when I got in the car from the host that took care of me while I was out there, it popped up. I got to see the video, and this is where I'm going to go into my opinion about the video. Again, this is for edutainment, educational purposes. I'm not calling anybody out. I will not say the club's name because unfortunately the algorithm that's on these pages causes a lot of nonsense. But as someone who is in this community, though I wish to be in it even harder, absolutely unacceptable that club did what they did. And I'm going to stand on that because we like to not stand on things because we're too scared of the reaction. If your intentions are righteous, you ain't got nothing to be scared of. This ain't no threat. This isn't trying to start anything. This is, again, for educational purposes. To our fellow biker families, I don't care if you are of this hue or you are of a wheat hue. If you are in a club as old as that one, that was unacceptable. Because you, regardless of your status, should live up to a higher standard. What was seen on that video was an act of childishness from some old ass men acting like kids when they should have represented that which was on their backs. Just because you can do it, you're a lot smarter in avoiding the situation. So this is what happens next. Now you put more of a flag on your club because you wanted to be Billy Badass. And my nickname is Billy. You knew that you were at an advantage because you had more people there than that person. Yet, you all could have just walked away from it. But no, you had to be Billy Badass. So now, your Billy Badassness is now put y'all on the radar because you all are on tape. And I say this to all clubs. It's important that you get, along with these members, get an attorney for your club. Because them being on tape, here's something that, and I, as a founder of We Ride Biker for Life, and I try my best to impute knowledge, not just fancy bikes, not me going to all the parties, not me just grounding and pounding and all that, but actually giving some education. So if you are not aware of what could occur from that video, should you see it, allow me to give you some law advice. Anyone that goes into a public facility wearing biker colors, if you have already been labeled by law as a gang and you do physical harm to anyone, whether it's of any hue of color, you are facing federal charges. That is from me. The next thing that you will be facing is between 2 and 10 years in prison. Federal time. And you will do all of your time. If that person chooses to file charges, it's going to be worse. Because not only have you assaulted a civilian who wasn't wearing colors, but you better hope that they wasn't working for the city. Because now you got double federal charges put on you. This is the education that I urge my biker community to start imputing or putting into the mindset of your clubs. Last year, I lost a good friend of mine because of a 5-second decision that, even though that was my friend, he was wrong. And it does not give me pleasure to say that, because the brother was extremely loved and had a lot to lose over that decision. I want to say to this particular club, You all are playing with a serious bear trap that will end up putting you in a situation that you can't get out of, that you will think down the line, was it really worth it? And that's what I'm going to ask you all, and I'm going to use this soliloquy from a show called The Game. And I hope that you all are following me, and I hope you all can hear me clearly. There's a show called The Game, and one of the stars of that show had an affair with a singer by doing a video in which he was kissing her in the video. Derwin. If anybody remembers The Game, at the end of that episode, he sneaks out of the hotel room in where he had the small affair with the girl. As he was stepping out of that room, silently and sneakily, behind him was his teammate, and he said these words to him. And these are the words that I am dedicating to that particular club, the jewelry wearers. Was it worth it? Was what you did worth it? Because right now, you put yourself on a target. But not only did you do that, and I want all of our jewelry wearers to listen to what I'm saying. I made this statement in a video dedicated to the Chosen Few and the East Bay Dragons. And I said this at the very end of that video. I had a conversation with a jewelry wearer from Florida. And as we had our conversation, he was buying some of my pictures from my collection, clothing. And we got into a conversation, and he asked me, do you know what that number really means? And I gave him my explanation from what I understood. And he said, I'm going to tell you something that you have not heard. He gave me the real meaning of that particular number inside of a piece of jewelry. And you all know what I'm saying if you are of this community. He took the emblem, he laid it out. He said, what do you see? I told him. He said, you don't see anything else in that image? I said, no. So he took it, drew it out, took some scissors and a razor. He cut everything out, and when he was done with it, he put it in another dimension. And the dimension that he put that piece in looked like a graduation cap. And I said, graduation cap, that's what it looks like. He said, absolutely right. That's the other hidden meaning of this lifestyle. Anyone that wears this, and I'm saying this to all hues of those who are jewelry wearers. I will say this again. I will say it to anybody who wears jewelry. I will put it out there, and I'm going to share a couple of secrets that most of you all who are in that lifestyle don't know about, that I happen to have learned from. When you wear that, you are saying to people that you are of the graduating class of scholars who are in this community. So anytime you go anywhere, you're supposed to teach. You are supposed to show how to MC properly. And MCing just does not mean man's club. It means making communications. This is how this community survives, by making connections. So I'm saying this to those particular individuals. Was it worth it? Was it worth it? Because now you put a target on your back. I don't care how many tribal members you have. What you have done is made it more difficult for anyone to move accordingly. I'm going to give you all an example of exactly how this affected me. Okay? There was a group here in Chicago. I done plenty of work for them, made a lot of friends. Two of them I knew are no longer here from that club. One moved on. Unfortunately, there was some bad blood. Because of the acts that they did, and because of the fact that my club's last name was similar to that name, anywhere I went, I was on this list, this contact list that the federal order of them folks, the Blue Boys, put me under. Never had a record, never did anything incorrectly, never been to jail, none of that stuff. But I'm on this contact list. And the first thing that they say to me, are you still in that biker GANG? I've never been in one. But that is all that it takes to cause problems for you and me who loves getting on these motorcycles and traveling and just festivizing with our family in this community. For some dumb effer to come on, turn on his lights, and just literally bother you. Where there is a huge percentage of these same individuals that are in clubs. There are too many of you all that are wearing those jewelries, jewels, and do not know what you are in this for other than to look like you're the Billy Badass. Had it been more than 5, these guys in that bar, and they did that, I don't care what you wearing, it would have not ended the way that it ended. And I can guarantee you that it would have not ended the way that it ended. And that is the reason why I said the dumb crap y'all did was extremely childish. And what I saw was exactly how weak racism is. It's like a little child that can't stand the fact that somebody got something a little bit better than them. So now they got to play the bully. They got to talk about them. They got to make them feel bad just so they can make them feel good. If it was 5 black dudes in that place, it would have not ended the way that you saw it on that tape. It would have been a slaughter. I guarantee you. And if those black guys had colors and they wore jewelry, it would have not ended the way that it ended on that tape. So therefore, I'm saying to these particular guys, was it really worth it that you and 4 other members of your club did that man the way that you did? And don't blame it on the alcohol, because the day of reckoning will come and them colors will not protect you. It actually made it worse for you. You would have did better taking them colors off and doing what you did. So I'm going to say that was some cowardly-ish that you did. I'm going to stay clean. That was some cowardly-ish that you did, because when you did what you did with them colors on, that just showed that you are a bunch of ussies. Had it just been one of you guys against him, cool. It is what it is. Had you took off your colors and did what you did, cool. But once you kept them colors on and you did what you did to that guy, you just showed how weak and scared you were of him. Because if it was 5 guys up in that building that looked like this, you would have been put in the hospital. I promise you, because it looked like it wasn't too many of us up in there. So they was going to give you everything as if it was their last day on this planet. So y'all got some meetings y'all need to conduct, and y'all need to fix that. Y'all need to make that right. As I said to a previous club that happened to a situation in early September last year, y'all need to make that right. You're making us look bad out here. You're making us look bad out here. You're making the other side look bad. As if, oh, now y'all beating, y'all doing 4-1, 5-1, throwing tables and chairs and stumping people out. That was some cowardly-ish that y'all did. But out of respect for the club, I will not say their name because it wasn't the whole entire club. It was just 5 weak ass individuals that did that. To my biker community, please educate your MCs. Get a lawyer. Get somebody that knows law. Just because you got numbers, don't make you smart. This is supposed to be about us getting out here and enjoying ourselves. And please believe me, I can't wait to get on my bike. I've been waiting for several years to get on the bike, but I couldn't do it because I had to do colon reconstruction. Last 4 years, we done had enough nonsense. We had COVID. As of now, 30 plus people on the set here alone passed away from complications of stroke and cancer issues. There have been enough accidents. We done lost 10 people in motorcycle accidents. Just had a friend in Florida that was in an accident because the fool cut in front of him. Pastor Basher Jordan, I hope you're doing okay. Take your time, brother, heal. There's too many clubs out here that are so desperate to open up. Hold on, I got a message here. Hey, Chris, tone your words, bro, because they just flagged you. They just flagged you. So tone your words. They very sensitive with certain words. Okay. So we got a lot to do. I said that when I get out here on this set, I was going to be speaking a lot about who's MCing correctly and who needs to do some adjustments. I meant every word of it. Every word of it. Because now the set, and I said it 4 years ago, the set needs a reset. The set needs to go back to the old school values, and I do mean old school values. The set needs to take these new school cats and let them know your gang activity is not welcomed here. If you were of any of these street organizations, keep that out of here. We didn't come in for that. I didn't come here to sit up here and have my brother go to my family and say I'm no longer here because the people that we brought into our clubhouse wanted to be a Crip in the blood. Wanted to be them people. 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 No, keep that out this thing. We got families. And for most of us that's in here, we got out of that and got into this so that we can do something better. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. The set is to police their own. And this is all that I'm saying. I said this about the jewelry rares and that particular number, that percent. I spoke on that. I said, this is what this is supposed to be about. We need to get back to our education. We need to get back into the education. We need to get back into why we're doing this. How many of you all understand that your colors are put in a particular way for a reason? How many of you all understand that when you are on a certain set, certain officers take over as the head for a reason? There's a reason why, excuse me, there's a reason why you walk into a place and you leave out of that place in a certain order and fashion. There is a reason why things are structured the way that they are. And I really wish that these clubs would really get back to the basics and having people understand that. There is a miseducation on the set. And because of that miseducation, People are losing their lives when they shouldn't be losing their lives in the first place. There are people that are being invited here that should never step foot in any of these communities in the first place because they don't have basic common sense. There are too many people that are jewelry wearers that are bringing a bunch of floozies on this set, and they don't know when to shut their mouths, and they cause more problems than need be because they're not being instructed on how to walk into these places with a sense of respect. There are too many people out here that can't control their alcohol, and because they can't control their alcohol, somebody is missing their mother or their father because you couldn't say, I've had enough. And that goes into the conversation of where this whole thing started from what I saw in Fort Wayne, Indiana earlier today. Earlier today. So again, to that particular club, if this video should ever be shared to that club in that particular place in Indiana, my question to you is, was it worth it? Was it worth it? Because if you sober up and you actually think about the fact that you are on tape, there is a video that is being shared over and over and over again. And there is a thing called the law. And there's a thing called an attorney. And there's a thing called Federal Bureau of Investigations. And once they find who they need to find, guess what they're going to play? And guess what the news is going to play? And guess what they're going to show on social media, like YouTube and other venues of bikers? Guess what they're going to do? You're going to be the celebrity. You're going to be the celebrity. And you're going to be the prime example of why it's very difficult for us to walk out here, get on our motorcycles, and fellowship without some nonsense coming our way because you all couldn't control yourselves. And you wore colors. Do the knowledge, know the ledge. I'm done talking about the situation. I'm not speaking on it no more. Chime in. Let me know what you all thought about what I said. Eventually, this video will come on. It'll play in the next couple of days. I will be making more videos dedicated to the biker set. I will share this video to another platform. Let me know what you think about it. And I appreciate you all watching it. You guys be safe. Watch out for bikes. To the people out in Indiana, be safe. Shout out to Outcast. Thank you all for letting me put some work in your clubhouses. I've done 2 so far. Shout out to all the other clubs that have allowed me. Hawks, Soldiers, Sweet Street Soldiers. I've done a couple of clubhouses, and I've been putting in work. Thank you for everybody. Shout out to my man, Ron Red, Born Losers. I'm almost done with his bike. Bill, I'll be working on your piece in the next couple of days. Don't you ever let nobody touch my paint. Ever. Don't you ever let somebody touch my paint ever again. We gonna fight. Project, let's get together this week. I got a couple more projects in the works, and I'm gonna leave it there. You guys be safe. I command you to be great. I command you to be prosperous. I command you to be greater today than you were yesterday. We Ride Biker for Life shirts and apparel. Inbox me 773-551-2904 between Wednesday and Thursday. All t-shirt orders, all airbrush orders. Please look in your mailbox. Look for your tracking numbers tomorrow. I sent a few out. I got 2 more I'm sending out, and the next set will be ready in another week. If you're trying to do any bike orders, if you're trying to get some artwork painted on your bikes or your helmets, you need to inbox me for this week. I will not be working on any bike projects until the 10th of June. I will be sitting my black ass down on the 9th. Everybody's asking, it's my 53rd birthday. And allow me to say this, I'm going to end it here. Y'all know I'm about health. Today is the day that my father passed away, June 1st, 2002, at 4:20 p.m. I lost my father to complications of esophageal cancer. So I'm not really into celebrating my birthday. I really don't celebrate my birthday. And usually, only the reason why I didn't go see my father and show honor to his essence today was because I just came home from Indianapolis. So I need everybody, along with what I just talked about, stop playing with your health. Stop playing with your health. My father's birthday is on the 7th. I will be putting out the How to Kill Cancer video, the video that made me famous. If you are serious about killing cancer, you need to tune in and watch my video on my YouTube page, We Ride for a Cure. It will be set on a private, so you have to call in for me to send you that video. That video has reached over 8 million views. It got banned 6 times, along with the interviews that I did on 2 radio platforms. And also, I was on the original OGs, but that video has never been put on there, and I know why. So, on the 9th, on the 7th, I'm going to put that video out. I'll make a notice. If you want to see it, I'll have a number for you to reach out to me. You can message me. But on the 9th, I'm going to take some time out. I'm going to do a 1-hour-long video. If you're trying to kill cancer within 120 days, I have a product that I'm proud to say I created, something that was the equivalent and a safer version of chemotherapy in a liquid form. I'm very proud of that. Black people are once again showing who we are, and I'm a part of that group. If you all are looking to learn how to kill cancer, if you have anybody who is dealing with cancer and you want something that's going to help them, including an educational program that's going to teach them how to correct their errors, I am one of the people that represent that group of soldiers that's on a mission to help people heal. If you are interested in seeing that video, the video isn't even 12 minutes long, but what I told people to do to start it off had me challenge 2 doctors, and it's helped 15 people that I know actually reverse cancer by the lessons, and some other things that have occurred with the regimen that I've given them and the supplements that I've actually helped put together by way of my elder Chris Williams and by the blessings of the man himself, Dr. Sabi. And I will always be grateful for those 2 individuals that inspired me, because as of now I'm 8 years cancer free. So it works. I'm done. Y'all be safe. I command you to be great. I command you to be prosperous. I command you to be greater today than you were yesterday. I'm off this line. I am going to chill, because everybody be talking about I don't get no rest and I don't eat. So I'm finna eat and get some rest. Peace is not just a word. Please educate the Almighty's children with equality. Proper education always corrects errors.